A new special look trailer for Avengers Endgame has arrived as tickets have finally gone on sale for the MCU's eagerly anticipated film. Let's break down the trailer scene by scene. The trailer starts with Bruce ominously saying,
"If we do this, we'd be going in short-handed."
which alludes to the team's severely hamstrung numbers after Infinity War. As Rhodey is quick to point out, the interesting detail here isn't the depressing truth, however, it's the ambiguous this. The team's plan has been vaguely referenced since Endgame's trailers first started to drop, but never clearly defined. But whatever it is they intend on doing seems like it requires a trip back to space to work. This is particularly interesting considering how much of the rest of the clip's moments seem to take place on Earth. Which begs the question, do the Avengers leave Earth to fight Thanos first, or do they somehow lure him to Earth before they chase him off-world? One of the most surprising things about this new trailer is how many major reunion moments it gives away. We knew that Nebula and Tony would somehow meet up with the rest of the team after being stuck in space on the Benatar. This trailer gives us some closer looks at the more tender moments in those reunions. Rocket and Nebula haven't exactly been on the best terms since Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, but that doesn't mean they can't put their differences aside for the mission. We also see Pepper and Tony's emotional reunion for the first time since Tony left Earth at the very start of Infinity War.
Tell me you're not on that ship.
Yeah.
God, no, please tell me you're not
Honey,
on the ship.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to
Come
say.
back here, Tony. I swear to God,
Pep.
come back here right now.
We've known Clint would be spending Endgame with a new costume and codename, Ronin, for a while now. But this is the first time we've seen him in civilian clothes since the trailer started dropping. Clint is now sporting a full sleeve tattoo of a skeletal samurai and snake of some kind on his left arm. But when did he have the time? How many tattoo artists are actively working post-decimation? What's up with that design, and how long did it take? This shot may have spoiled a moment 3 years in the making. Steve and Tony come face to face for what might be the first time since their catastrophic breakup in Captain America: Civil War. As Tony asks,
You trust me? I do.
of course, we can't be completely sure that this is their first proper reunion, based on the lack of context. But it certainly feels like a pretty watershed moment for two guys who have spent the last 3 years not on speaking terms. With the potential for quantum realm shenanigans and even time travel in the mix, this scene could very well be a retrospective moment, maybe even back at the Battle of New York during the first Avengers movie. After all, it's the movie where Steve and Tony first met. The next moment features a motley crew of heroes aboard a spaceship apparently taking a trip off-world. The group consists of Carol, Rocket, Nat, Steve, Rhodey, and Thor, who is particularly interesting given that his new axe should, in theory, be able to summon the Bifrost, which would transport him and those with him anywhere he wants to go. Notably absent are Clint, Scott, Tony, and Nebula, making it seem as though this expedition is occurring pretty early on in the proceedings. Also, Natasha's hair is short and solid blonde in this shot, which is helpful in putting together some sort of timeline. It's also worth noting that no one is wearing the white and red spacesuit uniforms that have been seen in trailers past. If the team tried to leave Earth almost immediately after the decimation, what goes wrong? What stops them and forces them to return and regroup? We've only caught glimpses of Thanos in the other trailers, but here we see him in full, totally armored and ready for battle, beaming in or out of wherever he's at. And even though the blue color of the effect certainly seems to scream Space Stone, the visual itself looks more like the Bifrost than the Space Stone's portal-like rifts from Infinity War. What is Thanos using to get around if not the Space Stone? Where is he going? Is he actually coming to Earth, or has he picked a different planet entirely to fight on? The rubble surrounding him certainly looks man-made, but with little to no distinguishing features, it's impossible to tell. He also provides this ominous voiceover.
You could not live with your own failure. Where did that bring you? Back to me.
The final moment of the trailer is a surprisingly emotional one. An extremely low shot of Tony, Steve, and Thor walking through the rubble side by side, presumably to face down Thanos once and for all. Marvel's big three haven't fought next to each other since Avengers: Age of Ultron, so this is likely going to be something major, and if we're being honest, something ultimately tragic. Make sure to bring some tissues to the movie. And don't forget to subscribe to GameSpot Universe for more Avengers Endgame videos coming your way. What did you think of the latest trailer? How many tickets have you bought already? Let us know in the comments below. Avengers Endgame releases April 26th.